All right, fuckers, sorry about that. I don't know how long we've been off, but we're going to let this roll still.
I said Geechee, killing it.
Yeah, I chose Geechee too. Let's do Young Refresh Roomy. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, guys, so we got Geechee winning that battle. Let me pull this flyer up once again. DNA New Jersey Twerk.
Yeah, this is my other pick for Battle of the Night. On even edge this one is my number one pick for Battle of the Night, with Geechee Shotgun being my second pick.
Word.
But this one being my number one pick for Battle of the Night. I think they're both their styles being that big styles. Like, that's a weird thing to say, but it's like they commands a lot, both of their styles and their energy and delivery during battles, and when they're firing on all cylinders. I think it's really crazy, and they're meeting again. It's like, they both have gained this momentum now and are like crossing paths. That's almost like a theme for this card, I feel like, where it's like, some of the matchups, like, oh, this person and this person has faltered in the past, they got some momentum, and now it's like they're both being put to the test. But this one is like they're both on an upswing. They both have a style that can shut any room down. A room that doesn't have to be battle fans, that isn't necessarily there to see them or whatever. I think they can steal the show. And I don't know. It's really hard to call. I think that DNA will have an amazing second round. Like, get smacked the fuck out of here. Like, that sort of like crazy room shaking thing. And I think Twerk is going to create a crazy moment too, like taking his hoodie off or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe he'll like put like spray paint, some hair on or something.
Word.
I think that it has a lot of potential to be a Battle of the Night, and it will be argued. I might slightly edge it Twerk, but I don't know. Like, I'm kind of back and forth on that one. I think they both have a lot of momentum, both have a lot of energy, and I do think they'll steal the show and have the highest energy level from the crowd of the event.
That's a really good prediction. I definitely would not argue with any of that. I don't know who I'd call winning. I would kind of lean towards Twerk, just because I think he's on fucking fire right now. He's won like almost every single battle that he's been in.
But recently. Then you got DNA, the PG killer. And
DNA's
it's like
doing really good
too. It's not like he's necessarily a PG still or anything, but it's like kind of that dynamic of like, oh, you're proving yourself against me now, the PG killer, the champ.
Word.
So it's gonna be real interesting.
Next one up is Math Hoffa versus Av.
I was saying this a little bit earlier, as I want to see. So like you got like punch heavy versus like sort of an all around. Because Math will punch, but Math will set up concepts. He'll have angles. He'll bully, but he'll also break you down. And he'll have a concept around. He'll have some humor in there. Whereas I think Av's mainly more punch heavy. He has other weapons at his disposal, but that's like his bread and butter.
Oh yeah.
What I want to see from Av is what we saw versus John.
Where he just raps.
Fuse them punches, but not just where he just does that, where he incorporates that rapping like cadence with that he had against John with his heavy punches. If he does that, that's a tough pill to swallow for anyone. Man, and I want to see Math. I want to see Math smile in the battle. I feel like some of his best performance. Some of his like most faltering moments, even when he's spitting something, but you can't quite feel it. It's like you get this. You got for a while. I had this sense of like something was going on in his personal life, and it was affecting his own confidence and his. Maybe his identity or his own confidence in his performance, to where even when there's moments of like you're doing good, it's like I don't know, I just can't quite all the way buy into it, you know? And I think he's getting past that a lot. Like what is some of his recent performances?
He battled
he was like
all within 3 weeks. He battled Ill Will first, then he battled Snake Eyes, then he battled Real Deal, and he arguably won all three. I filmed him versus Snake Eyes and him versus Real Deal, and in my opinion, I think he won both battles.
Yeah.
Both battles were really dope. And then supposedly his battle with Ill Will was like one of the battles of the year. I haven't watched it yet. I'm kind of waiting to watch it on
RBE?
Yeah, on RBE.
Yeah.
But yeah, and to his credit, like what you're saying, he's probably over that. If he won all three of those, you know, in 3 weeks, it's gonna be fucking crazy. And he was trying to battle fucking Geechee on Rare Breeds and Mukavat too. After this,
that's crazy.
Yeah, he's it's awesome, man.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Math is another person, like I've said it on the show before, but that has been classically one of my favorites. Like, you know, back like Solomon, you know, back T-Rex day, him versus T-Rex. Like he's always been like, I've always loved those moments. You know, the Biggie voice. He's always been super creative. Yeah. And you know, the white boy, all the white jokes,
with fucking jokes almost.
Yeah.
The whole thing joking around.
Yeah.
Which is that's really nuts. Like especially with the time period and it being on Smack, and he's battling Iron, who's like typically like a backpacker white rapper, you know, and you like wouldn't think of like, I'm just gonna murder this fool with jokes. Easiest thing, Math is just like, I'm just gonna out fucking street this guy because it's easy, you know?
Right.
But you know what Mickey Fax told me, and this blew my fucking mind. Mickey Fax was at all the early Smack DVD battles. We watched J-Dose versus Math on Monday with him. Math versus J-Dose was a 2-round battle before he got punched. Isn't that fucking crazy? And that's never been talked about.
What do you mean?
There's 2 rounds. Like, so you see the DVD, you see the dome to the stadium, then you hear Math go, like, the only thing he's squeezing is his shoes into his little feet into his brother's shoes. And then he punches him, and you think that's Math's first. That's actually Math's second round. So Dose went twice. Or something like, I think it was maybe Math went, and then Dose went, and then Math went. But Math's first round, he got booed. Because he was kind of a no-name at the time. This was before Fight Club. This was before everything happened that kind of got him his jump off, and they fucking booed him. Is that fucking insane?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's like, I love that shit, man. There's
just
like so
behind the scenes.
There's so many
snippets.
little shit I want to know about those early Smack DVDs. Like, I never even thought that was the case. Why would you ever think there was a round before that? But Mickey was there, so he knows. And then, like, where the Mook and Sirius took place was at a barbershop. To me, I always thought they just moved into a different room in that like YMCA center, but they actually left and went to a barbershop. And also that event where Mook, it was supposed to be Mook and Sirius as the headliner, and they tried to charge like $2 to get in. Isn't that crazy? Like nowadays, like they were trying to charge at the door, like, okay, $2 to get in, because they kind of wanted it secret. And then like hella fools showed up, and fools just came in. They're like, fuck, we ain't paying $2.
Anyways, right?
Yeah, I want to know also, like, in the early Smack DVDs, like Mook versus J Mills, Party Artie, they're higher than everybody else. And I'm like, what were you guys standing on? Like, I'm always wonder, like, what the fuck are you standing on? It looks like a parking lot. He's literally battling on top of cars, because it kind of looks like they're standing on cars with Mook and J Mills. But yeah, that's a side note that I was astounded when Mickey told me that.
It wasn't just that.
Yeah, but I have Math taking this battle against Av. Like, I want to see Av do something more than just punch, because like I said, kind of with Hitman, he kind of just stays at a level, you know. He does kind of joke around now. He had some jokes with Geechee that was kind of funny, but I would like to see either like maybe joke humor or that like rap cadence that he had against John, which was fucking crazy. When we saw that, we're like, wow, this is amazing. Why doesn't he do this? This is like cool to listen to, regardless of the punches being like a little dated at the time. But it was dope.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing for each of them, like, you know, I think I touched on this too earlier, but you know, for one, Av kind of has free reign at all of Math's history at this point. You know what I mean? Because of the stage and because of the time and everything, like, him talking about anything, you know, from the last few years or beefs or controversy, I don't think will be super played. It's almost like it's like a clean slate. Summer Madness now. It's you can pull, and the way he constructs punches, he can pull from all that.
Yeah.
That's you know, that's well documented. People know about all this shit, right? But same thing goes for math. And math tends to be a little bit more analytical in the way of breaking opponents down, using concepts in rounds and everything. So they'll both kind of have free reign at all the controversies that surround their opponent in the battle, because like people have talked about Av stealing bars and stuff, but this Summer Madness, new crowd, you know, then those are all, I'm sure the crowd's gonna be mostly well-versed fans, but the way that each of them could do it, I think leaves it wide open to them. So hearing a round or part of a round of math, like having some, you know, he'll play characters sometimes in his rounds, like playing, you know, the character of each person that's Av stole a bar from, or doing something creative could shut shit down, or Av punching about the punch or whatever could shut shit down. You know what I mean? So it's kind of wide open. Yeah, I think it's gonna be crazy. I'm not sure who I don't really have a favorite in that battle.
Word. Yeah,
if anything, I would just based off, because I'm not sure. I would just base it on, like, I've always liked math. Like I'll give a slight edge to him on just being hitting more notes and being all around.
Versed,
you know, exactly.
Experienced. Okay, last but not least, Ill Will versus RYD.
Crazy matchup. Again, another one with a little bit of a storyline. People sleep on RYD. People also kind of sleep on Ill Will. And now RYD, you know, champion of the year, you have this crazy run he's been on, right? But he's faltered in battles prior, you know, if you like look back, and he reached certain points where it was like people kind of wrote him off a little bit, you know. There was like that year or two where it's like, we didn't know what to expect from RYD. Ill Will's kind of had that same thing, little, you know, and that's like the true mark of a champion, right? Like, not when your back hits the mat, but how fast you get up, or how, you know, what you do the next battle. And so both of them have come from this, you know, from some adversity. RYD, now champion of the year, has all this momentum. He's got to protect that. He's got a target on his back, you know. Ill Will has faltered in the past, kind of been written off, and his back strong, you know. And so he's got something to prove. They both have like something to protect and something to prove. So I think it's gonna make for, you know, not to overdraw, it's an explosive matchup. I think it's gonna be really tight. They both, you know, can crack some jokes. Like, Ill Will has a lot of personality when he battles. You know, he can turn up. My favorite part is sometimes how he'll be in the middle of that and then just like, hold on, and like slow down and roast you a little bit and then go back in, you know, and hit you with some bars. I really like the versatility and style of Ill Will a lot. RYD has always been one of the top, just most consistent to me. I don't know who to edge it to. Like, I think that, I think hard. On paper going in, like, I think a lot of people would edge it to RYD because of just the run and the, you know. But I think Ill will be even more motivated, you know, and it could bring even an extra fire out of him.
Yeah,
and
for
could
sure.
Be crazy.
Everybody that battles RYD is now motivated by that, by him being champion of the year last year.
Right. Now it's like, if I knock off champion of the year and have a good year, how can I not be champ?
That's the thing. That's why DNA is running with the champ thing. That's the whole thing that started it, was when he battled RYD. And in the building, I mean, the battle's debatable, but he thought he won. And people were being like, whoa, DNA might have won. Like, that was crazy. So DNA the next day made a fucking blog of him, like, running up a hill, like, waving at people. And ever since then, he's been running with this whole character of the champ.
I'm the champ.
Yeah, he refers to himself in the third person, like the champ thinks this. And he'll do blogs, I don't know if you've seen it, where he's like talking to himself, where the champ is like all drunk and like doesn't fucking care anymore because he's the champ. He's like washed up and just like, whatever, going to Vegas, it's gonna be awesome, like holding the fucking bottle of liquor, and DNA is like the voice of reason. It's like really fucking funny.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's fucking really funny, man.
That's tight.
Yeah. DNA's
That's
going
tight.
in. But yeah, I don't know how to call this particular battle either. I think it can go either way. I might say slight edge to RYD just because I think he has something to prove after being like in a debatable battle with DNA. What was Ill Will's last battle on URL? I think it might have been Suge. Yeah, I think it was Suge at fucking Traffic 3, which was hella long ago. But he battled Math at RBE and did fucking great, and supposedly that was like battle of the year, so.
Battled Daylight before that on RBE, right? Yeah, it's the same event I battled JC, they battled.
Club Drum? You guys battled at Club Drum, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's the prediction for Summer Madness 7. Let's, before we peace out, get some questions for ILLMAC. You know, he's got a lot going on with the cartoon, the Rap-Off Battle League. Have you already announced that you're working on another one? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, he's working on I don't know.
No,
he's working on another one. It's fucking fantastic. You guys will love who's involved. That's yet to be announced officially, and it will be coming relatively soon.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and there's some other developments that I'm excited about. You know what I mean? Like deal with Pixar.
What?
We call it Yixar. You know? Yeah. The second one's coming, but we are like, you know, shopping it and stuff, and like trying to. There's some interesting prospects down the line for it. But
crazy, man.
Yeah. Shit's been really nuts, man.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be. Well, I mean, I guess we could say it's not going to be mustard versus ketchup again.
No, it's not even. This is as specific as I'll get. It's not even in the fridge.
Oh shit! All right.
It's not in the fridge, and it's not what you think.
Y'all should do a show where you listen to battlers' music. We do that. We play album premieres in the show. We premiered Only in Ill 2 on the show. We premiered Non-Perishables 4. We premiered Sweet Aromatic. We're gonna premiere
Lush's album.
Lush's album,
Above the
Devil, and then we're gonna premiere Geechee Gotti's album, No Studio Volume 3, when that drops. We're also doing a music video to another track by him, which is fucking super goddamn good. So if you liked, what is this song called? Is it Here? I forgot what the song's called.
Weekend at Geechee's.
I always call it Weekend at Geechee's.
Yeah.
How It Goes. If you guys like that, you'll love this other track.
Yeah, and you know we're gonna do Cultivate. We got to do the Cultivate premiere.
When
that's ready.
Yeah, of course.
Line.
But yeah.
And we just shot a video. I don't need to talk about I think we mentioned at the start, but we just shot the video for a song called "Don't Go Outside" the other day, and I know he's knocking that out.
And that's gonna drop on Friday, right?
Yeah.
If all goes to plan.
Yeah, all goes
on
if
Friday.
Not, then Monday.
Okay. I mean, if you're open to Monday, that might even be better.
Let's do Monday.
Okay, cool. Gives me some time. I'm editing so much shit right now. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, side note, I want to just say congratulations to Organic for King of the Dot being 10 years old today.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. August 8th.
Hitting double digits.
August 8th.
Today?
2008. Yeah, today.
For real?
August 8th, 2018. It's been 10 years. I just did the 10-year little montage for them. And wow, man, going through all those moments is fucking crazy. Like all the good battles that have happened on that platform. Bender killed it fucking for so long on that platform. RIP. Pat did great. ILLMAC's had fucking a bunch of crazy battles on that platform as well. Chain has moved through countless people. Now it rests with Head Ice, and let's see who is going to step up to the plate to challenge him for that.
How many
title matches?
Yeah, how many title matches, period?
Okay, it's Twist versus Bartone, Twist versus Holohan versus Thesaurus versus Arcane versus who did Arcane? Oh, Arcane versus Bender versus Sketch Menace versus Poe Rich versus PH, Poe Rich versus Disaster versus Pat Stay versus
Arcane.
Daylight, Pat Stay versus
yeah.
Oh no, yeah, Diz versus Arcane. Did I already fuck it up? I think
you missed the Arcane.
Okay, yeah. I'll just say 15. I think it's about 15 or 16. And there's only been a couple people that have defended it twice. Roan, Holohan, because I missed the Holohan jack shit. Pat Stays defended it the most times. Head Ice,
which is 3
times, yeah.
But Ice has defended it 3 now, right?
2 times.
Oh, he won. That's 1.
Yeah.
And then the defense.
Cortez
and
Nems was in a title match.
That's right.
Yeah, it was just exhibition. So
wait, he's only defended it
against Cortez.
Won.
Yeah, I guess technically. So Pat Stay battled. He won it from Arcane. Then he battled Daylight, Diz, so twice, and then lost it to you. Right?
And then I lost it to Roan.
Yeah.
Then Roan defended it against Caustic, lost it to Ice.
Yep.
Ice battled Cortez.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pat's the only one that's done it. It's hard, man. It's hard to fucking... Title matches are stressful, as you can probably account for, man. It's like a lot goes into it, and even when you think you got your shit down, it's like the judges can be swayed a little bit, you know? Like, I know a lot of people didn't think Ice beat Roan, you know? I remember in the building, it was kind of like, whoa, shit, wow, that's... I mean, not like I was like, fucking Roan completely got that, but, you know, there can be controversy in that. But yeah, man, hopefully, I don't know who's really next in line for the title shot because the title hasn't been really talked about for a while, and King of the Dot's kind of been on a little hiatus at this point. But I know they got the Decade event coming up, and the names that Organic has tossed around to me about who's going to be on that card.
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to think of like people who are in line, like Chilla. But
Pass.
Chilla already battled Head Ice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like the most interesting people I think to battle Head Ice for the chain would be Pass. I think Pass would be the best candidate. Pass and Head Ice on paper looks the best to me.
Yeah, because you got Chilla, you know, I think is in there as far
but
as.
Chilla
but
and
Chilla and
Head
Ice already got a classic.
Yeah.
And then even, you know, you could. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, Pass is the first and immediate person I
would
think
say
of,
A-Ward,
you know?
too. A-Ward's in the running for it, but I don't personally really want to see A-Ward versus Head Ice. And then who else? Iron. Iron's definitely in the running for it, but I just don't think Iron... I would say I don't think Iron... See, it's so different nowadays because I know when ILLMAC got the chain, you had like a plan about how much you wanted to defend it. You wanted to bring it back to Cali. And like your plan was like you wanted to defend it a lot within a year. And that was the time that King of the Dot was having a lot of events in a year. But nowadays, they have like 2 or 3 events a year. So it's like if you're the champ, you pretty much battle once a year, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be somebody that's hella active, you know?
It's cool, though, that he's also just done non-title matches. Like, he's not just sitting on that, you know? He's still going out and fight.
And he's battling an RBE against King Los, and that's going to be
I haven't seen him in NEMS.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought he won. I mean, Nems did great for being out for fucking, 15 years. But Nems also had some, like, shit that I was like, you know, have you seen any of Nems' freestyles that he posts on, like, Twitter? Those are so fucking good, man. Those are, like, hella fucking tight. I was hoping...
Yeah, I follow him and shit.
I was hoping he would do stuff like that, where he just kind of raps and, like, mixes in, like, fucking hard-ass imagery with rapping. But kind of felt like he went more of, like, I'm just going to say... hella disrespectful shit.
Right.
And I was kind of like, nah, I don't know.
Like
I'm
Arsenal route, like...
I'll face fuck your daughter in front of you. And I'm just like, that doesn't personally do much for me, you know? Yeah. I'm not, like, offended by it, and it's, I don't know.
I just don't want to picture it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I don't
want
to cheer for that.
Yeah. And the funniest part is when he did that, I think somebody in the crowd was like, welcome back! After he said some, like, fucking cheesy-ass...
Oh, my God. Your daughter's a cunt.
Yeah, word. But yeah, man, shout out King of the Dot. They're fucking killing it. And they got the Decade event coming up. And yeah, Organic.
Is that going to be in Tirana?
I don't know. I have no idea about the event at all. All I know is that Organic talked to me about people that he's interested in having on the card, and it will be crazy if he does what he talked about. So it'll be exciting.
That's dope.
But hell yeah, man. So do you want to talk about the direction you're going to take your channel? Like what you talked with me about? You want to make that public?
Wait, as far as what?
Like,
go ahead.
The podcast and shit?
Oh, yeah. I want to start a podcast. I've like, for a minute, I've had, like, a lot of different ideas for series and stuff. But the next one I'm, like, pretty hyped on doing
We can do this right now
podcast.
because I wanted to talk to you about this.
What's that?
If you guys have seen Fun with Dumb ever, that's a Dumbfounded's podcast. He does something that's really fucking interesting that isn't like really that crazy or innovative, but I've never seen a podcast do this, and I feel stupid for never thinking about this. Because it's such a fucking simple idea, and it makes the podcast so much better. Let's see.
One thing I wanted to do, like, I don't know if it'd be in conjunction with the podcast. I hope it's going to sound like it's the same thing if it is. Is he bring people in via...
No. That's what it looks like, though, huh?
Yeah. But the other thing I had was is that
It's multicam.
Oh, that's tight.
And it's, instead of editing it, he sets it up to where it's like multicam view. So you got like you can see both of them at once. Usually that's up there. That doesn't make sense for that to be up there. Usually it's the long one up at the top where you can see both of the guests, sometimes 3, and then those 2. That way, when you watch it, you can literally decide where to look yourself, because oftentimes in podcasts, when you're cutting, you're kind of like, even in editing in general, you're cutting to the conversation. Like, okay, this person's talking, you would look over to that person's talking, you look over,
Right.
So sometimes you lose some like genuine reactions in that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But when I saw him do this, I was like, fuck, that is so smart, man.
Yeah.
That's so if you do something like that, like, do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a fucking great, even if you have 2 views of like the guest and you, like, in my opinion, that would be superior than just having one thing edited.
Right.
And it's easier too because you don't have to edit. You just fucking do this and done. You do
Yeah.
this even live,
Yeah. No, that's really tight. I think that's a good idea. I want to do a podcast that isn't necessarily, just a regular one, like, as far as just talk about anything, you know what I mean? Like, depends on the guest, and it's just conversation based. So I don't know if this would be separate or I would just do it for rappers, but like, it'd probably work better separate, but with the same guests, is like do a rap thing where it's like, my Raising the Bar, that's separate, but it's where it's like, the radio freestyles you see. Where folks are sitting down, now we're like, all right, boom, put on the beat, spit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, word.
And that's like some shit I was just thinking of the last day or two, like, if I had this setup of doing something to that effect, you know what I mean? But ultimately, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and also just like, reading and a lot of interesting things. I'm like, I want to talk about some of this stuff. I want to bring on guests. I want to pick people's brains. I want to sort of delve into things out, even with battle rappers.
Even if you didn't have a guest,
side,
Even if you didn't have a guest, I feel like you're such a thinker in general, like that. I think it'd be cool just to have you go live and just talk. Like, hey, I had this, like, it's not like a groundbreaking idea at fucking all, but I wanted to do videos of like this is cool, something like that, or this is kind of neat, before fucking eject my name.
Stupid.
But yeah, and then where I just talk like, hey, I listened to this album, it's really fucking cool. Like, go check it out. This is why I like this album.
Yeah.
I read this
You told
book.
me something about that, and you're like, you should call it What's Good.
Yeah, word, exactly. Because you read a lot. I don't read at all because I'm fucking dumb. But if you read a book and you fucking present it to these people, I remember like during the watches, like you talk about books and everybody always asks you about.
That was the other thing is I was
sword
thinking
book or
about
whatever
starting
it
a
is.
book club.
You totally should do that. That'd be fucking great. If you like this week or this month, I don't know how fast people read. We're reading this. Then at the end, you start a live thing where the people in the chat can all talk about the book. Be like, this is cool. Then like you can answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, I think so too. Call it Long Story Long podcast. Long story short, long story long. Yeah.
But yeah,
something like that.
Just ideas, and I think the biggest mistake a lot of people make though is when doing content for a YouTube channel, and I've made this mistake, is be like, new series, and then you do 2 episodes and you stop. Because it's hard to fucking do content, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to be consistent over the years. I think you should just do stuff. Just do stuff. Don't even fucking call it anything. Just be like, here's a video of me talking about this book. Here's a video of like this. Me talking to B-Dot about whatever. Me talking to fucking Geechee, Chase, like anything. And just don't call it like a series, because then people start to expect things. Then when you can't fulfill it, life gets in the way when you're on tour, you're preparing for a battle, you get busy. like you failed to fulfill that and people are like disappointed and then like, I'm not gonna pay attention anymore. Or if you're just giving people random things, they're like, oh, I wonder if this got posted, or like, oh, a new video, sure, I'll click on this, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, food for thought.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Soaking up all the sweet drippings of that food for thought.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna probably get going in a little bit. You have any questions to ask ILLMAC? I know that like I bogarted the Q&A, but I can turn this off so you can see something
That
else.
dude's hilarious. I'm rewatching Silicon Valley again, and he plays what's his character's name? Jun Young or Jim Young? Jun Young.
He's on Silicon Valley.
Yeah. He's like the roommate, and I'm sure he's on other shit. That's just what I recognize him from. That dude that was on the Dumbfounded's podcast. Yeah, one of the first ones I'd want to do, I want to sit down with you and talk about shit. I'd like to sit with Diz. And like, of course, it's not just battle rap.
You should do fucking somebody else first.
I was thinking Diz
first.
I was thinking, well, B-Dot I thought too for sure. But I'm just like curious about a lot of things that I think would make for interesting combo with like you and also like with Diz. And of course, like with B-Dot, and I would have a lot of people on, but it wouldn't be just battle rappers. But yeah, with Diz a lot too. Like I would want to explore shit. Like, you know, we always hear clips and shit about, you know, him growing up in Lebanon and all this shit. Like I want to delve into the meat of some of these, you know, things and like talk about, like when I went on Kinda Neat on Intuition's podcast, it was really dope. Like we ended up talking about like music and battle rap just because we knew each other from like battles back in the day and like Scribble and stuff like that, so we talked about it. But a lot of it was just about like my life and other things, and we kind of tangented into, you know, a conversation about each other's lives. And all the podcasts I listen to, it's all about just everything, anything, where the convo goes. You know what I mean? Like,
and you're a good conversationalist too, so totally it would be like hella relaxed and wouldn't feel like, oh, okay, this is the format. You got to talk about this at some point. Let's get through the steps, yada yada.
I filmed something with Bobby and Chase once, and like I made it, I think, private. It was like my first time trying to run a stream by myself.
Yeah,
it was like with
a table, and it was
and it was with a laptop. But you know, it's like treading that line when the one of my biggest like hesitations, I guess, is like treading that line of like I'm not interviewing you. You know what I mean? Like we're having a conversation, you know, and like we know each other. I'm not, so, you know what I mean? Like not formalizing it, you know what I mean? And that was one thing when I did that, I felt like I was doing almost like, I know this, but tell the people, you know what I'm saying? It was like, and that's been a reason for my almost procrastination of like I've wanted to start a podcast for a long time. It's just looking at the game tapes and sort of like, cause I'm like super already, not that I need to curate everything, but I don't like to go into shit without, like, just dive into shit without having a real great understanding of it. You know what I mean? So that's something I want to, or it's something that I've thought of why I haven't done it yet, is like, I looked back at when I did sort of have a semblance of a podcast, and I was like, I don't really like the way I did that. You know what I mean? Like,
that's good.
But
I mean, I would also suggest also like having people back multiple times, because then the problem with a lot of podcasts, like, this is the only time I'm gonna have this person. This is this person's episode. I have to get it all the questions out of the way. And then you feel bad if like you didn't ask them a question that a lot of people want to hear, or you feel bad that you like maybe botched a question in a bad way, or a conversation didn't go the way you intended it to. That like in like Joe Rogan, like he has a lot of people on multiple times. You know, whenever they're in town, he's like, let's just have this person on. They don't even sometimes talk about the shit that has anything to do with this fucking person. They're just like, what's happening today in the news, blah blah blah. I think that's the best way to do that. Then it becomes more of a conversation, you know, like, oh, I'm just hanging out with this guy talking. Yeah,
two of the podcasts I listen to the most right now is like Theo Von's podcast this past weekend. It's super funny. That dude's like on my radar now, but he's a funny comic. But he has his own podcast. He's been on Rogan multiple times. Super dope. And he has a lot of, like, some of them just by himself talking about stuff. But then this other dude, Duncan Trussell, And a lot of times what they'll do, they both been on Rogan and stuff, but a lot of times they have a guest on and they end up just talking about like tripping on drugs or, you know, sobriety or something for almost the whole episode, and they'll tell stories and go on. And it's just like, that's one topic, you know, and it's like not, it's like, isn't an interview, it's a conversation, and kind of like that's something I've been trying to acclimate my brain to more before jumping in. But I'm super excited to kick that off in the next like week or two.
Yeah,
for sure.
that'd be fucking
start
crazy.
Trying, you know, dipping my toe in the waters of that, you know.
Yeah, well, let me know what I can do to help. I'm glad to fucking give a hand. But yeah,
I want to do a series on Ruin Your Day too.
I'm down. You know I'm down for that.
But we just got to come up with a good direction.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like something that's a little unique, but you know, could be fun and be sick.
Yeah.
You know, to run that.
Yeah, I'm totally down. But yeah, guys.
So if you have any ideas,
yeah, if you got ideas
hit us up about that
for a series on ILLMAC on Ruin Your Day, fucking give way. Let me know. We got fucking, I'm gonna do not a series, but a couple of videos maybe of Geechee reviewing snacks.
That's
Snack
amazing.
God, and he's down for that shit.
That's amazing.
So I don't know really how we're gonna do it. Someone suggested something funny of like maybe having a wheel of snacks and spinning the wheel a couple times, and whatever snack it lands on, he'll eat. Or maybe having fans choose what to eat, but I just don't want fans to be like, oh, eat like the gross flavored gummy bears from Harry Potter, and you know, it's like
no. You could one of them, like you could do like the wheel. You could do suggestions. You could just do some of his favorites. But then another thing you could do is almost. Have you seen? There's this producer. What's it on? It's on a big channel. I forget. Mass Appeal maybe might be. But Rhythm Roulette. It's where they have producers like blindfold them, but they blindfold them in the vinyl in the record shop or whatever, and then they pick like 3 different vinyls, but like taking him to like a snack section and turning him around and blindfolding him and having him just pick like 2 or 3.
That's good as fuck. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a super
kind
good
of just
idea.
filming that with even with like GoPro status or something, and then boom, back at the studio, him like unboxing it.
That's a super good idea. That's super good. But yeah, guys, got anything for ILLMAC to answer or anything? He said he might be battling the end of the year, might not. He's got the 667 album on the way, Cultivate. New single dropping on Monday. 2 new singles dropping on Monday, Don't Go Outside and then Burnt Bricks. It's going to be a double whammy. We've got a music video for Don't Go Outside dropping on Ruin Your Day. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to know? This is a 20-second delay. So.
Rap Snacks.
Oh yeah, Rap Snacks is a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah. I seen a few different newer ones. Like I think I seen Amigos Rap Snack recently. I remember back in the day, the homie Laws Spoken used to have all the rap snacks. Yeah. But he'd have them like as just decorations.
Oh, that's funny.
He never like dipped in like the ODB rap snacks and like I forget which other ones from back in the day.
All right, so Calamite's been asking this, and this is kind of a general question. Tips on writing. Any tips?
Writing. Man, I've been like not struggling, but kind of like looking shit like that up recently because I've been wanting to write, not like music, but that too, but like want to write. I have this like really strong urge to write right now, and I've like started little pieces like that. I don't know if they're gonna be short stories or just little pieces, but I've also been like writing down ideas to like write this type of book or this type of script or these types of things. When I don't feel like writing, this is a tip, I can't remember where I seen it. I think I follow a podcast that's called like Tips on Writing or something like that. Wow. And I will look up videos like that online. But one of the tips I somewhere along the line read was just like, you know, if you're not writing, think of ideas, sit down, make yourself think of ideas to write about later. So if I can't write right now, but I want to be productive, like, and I don't have a project that or a story or a script or anything I'm working on right now, write down 10 ideas and don't overthink it. You know, allow yourself the brainstorm space to write down a stupid idea. You know, like, oh, you know, this is an alien, you know, fucking Friday. You know, a movie like Friday Meets Aliens or whatever. Like, but like,
Fucking
don't.
awesome
but,
already.
yeah, right.
Down.
But don't give yourself. But anyways, like, it was one of the tips on writing. Like, when you're not physically writing, or you blocked, or you can't write down ideas to write about later. You know, and it's because as long as you're putting that energy into thinking of something creative, in which I can relate, because when it comes to music, sometimes I won't be in the mood to write, and I'll come up with little lines or whatever, and then just be like, all right, turn the beat off, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
But then later, when I'm in the mood and feeling it, like to a song or something, I'll have a note that's called extra material. That's usually what I put unfinished stuff in. I'll go back to that, and I can just pick and pull chunks from it, incorporate it into this verse, and it will set off whole other trains of thoughts, you know what I mean? So when you're not writing, try to just think of ideas to write about. Another tip is, you know, either live something, and this is a quote, I'm probably butchering it a little bit, but live something worth writing about, or write something worth reading. It's the other way around though. Write something worth reading, or live something worth writing about. So, you know, if you're just stuck in the same routine and not feeling creative, just switch up your lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, do something wild. Yeah, steal a car, or travel. If you don't have the ability to do that, change your diet. Write about that. Or work out, or pick a goal. Do something like that and chronicle your journey. Write about that, even if that doesn't end up becoming the story. Live something worth writing about. You know what I mean? And something like Only One said lyrics about it. Like, you don't rap about shit because you don't live shit worth rapping about. You know, he's like said that more or less on songs, but it's real. You know, like, you want to change your art, change your life. So that's the first two tips on writing that come to mind personally. That I'm also trying to take my own advice daily about as well. Word.
When are you going to come to... Oh, yeah, Sebastian has been asking me to ask you this. When are you going to come to Bend, Oregon?
It's been a bit since I've been to Bend, but, you know, I visit Portland every couple months, you know, and go visit my family and friends and stuff up there. Really, it's about just when I have a reason to come to Bend, you know? Like,
how big is Bend?
Bend is pretty big. I'm not sure the population. If I had to guess, like, 250,000, maybe less, you know, something like that. It's like a snowboard. It's south,
oh, okay,
but it's like it's like South Central, not South Central,
no.
but I think it's like Southern Oregon, kind of central, I think too. But it's like a snowboard. I think a lot of people go there to snowboard, and there's like mountains there. There's a lot of dope breweries there too.
Nice.
Like Crux is one of the breweries down there, one of my favorites. But I think Double Mountain is down there, or maybe that's in Hood River. I forget.
So you just need to book a show there, essentially.
Basically, come to Bend, you know, find who the promoters are or the local venues are, and just try to get them to book me for something, you know, because as I'm booking tours and stuff, Bend is usually on the list. It's just about finding the opportunities to get out there, you know.
Word.
Last time I was there was on the probably like 2 years ago or something. I went on the tour with me, Goldini Bagwell, and then Mike Bogan, I think, and we did a show at the Domino Room in Bend. Actually, yeah.
What's your favorite bar you've ever wrote? I mean,
it's like asking who my favorite kid is. You know
just
what I mean?
list like some of your personal like favorites. You can do a couple. Like, what comes to mind right away?
I mean, a third against K, you know, but also just the bar specifically is the whole armored mech, alarm detection, armed and set to target threat, but the favorite part of that, I was trying to work my way into it, but I can't remember it, is the fly a charter jet into your thought bubble and park directly next to the bar you're about to start with next, or something like that. But I just love the visual of like flying a charter jet into your thought bubble and parking next to the shit you about to say. You know what I'm like?
Crazy.
That was like always just a crazy visual. Like, that's the shit I love in battles, you know, that I don't see a lot. That's like my favorite shit to do a lot of times. It's just the create crazy visuals, you know. It's
that's
like,
funny. That's one of No Can Do's favorite bars that you've ever said was actually in your Madness battle. when you said I'm a bulletproof tiger with wings. And I remember we were talking about that battle because I forgot why, but he was just like, man, I loved that bar, and I was like, why? I was like, that bar didn't even. I was like, that wasn't even a punchline, you know. But he was just, that's what James said. He was like, literally, he's like, what he's saying is like, I'm the most insane thing you could think of. You know, I'm a bulletproof fucking tiger with wings. He's like, that's crazy to even think of that. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That is kind of insane. So it's funny that you like that, and that he's a crazy rider too, and that he liked that bar too. So
I'm doing myself a disservice by like saying this too, but it's like one of those bars that's like TV influenced. And on Eastbound and Down, at one point, Kenny Powers said something like, I'm a fucking bulletproof tiger, baby. And while I was writing, I think we were watching that as me and Only, and I was like dying. I was like, I should say I'm a bulletproof tiger or something like that. And I'm like, because what's more terrifying than a bulletproof tiger? And I said that to Only. He goes, if it had wings. And I'm like, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, that is terrifying. And wrote it down.
That's amazing. Hell yeah. Let's see. No, that's for me. I'm not gonna answer that. Do you still do music features?
Yeah, I do. If you're looking for a feature, irapbetter@gmail.com. Holler at me.
Oh, when is Be Better coming out as a single?
Ooh, I got the master, and that's been ready to go. I don't mean to put pressure on you. I know you got a full schedule, but that was something that I was like hesitant to drop it because I'm like, man, I almost want to do a video. Like, I've been doing a lot of music, and I love making music, and like I said, I've been wanting to write, and I'm like working on Rap Off and these other things, and that's like could alter into something crazy. I don't know. Might not ever come from anything or go to anything other than like YouTube, but you know, there's talks of, you know, maybe it being a show or something down the line. I don't know. But that, like, my head's been in a different creative space, you know, musically, and normally it's like I'm writing like a couple songs a week, I'm writing tons of verses. I've been like so wanting to like do a podcast and just write other things, like my brain's in a little bit different of a place. But Be Better is probably my favorite song I've done, and like, I don't know, I just want to roll it out super proper, but I don't want to overthink it, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe I should get a visual on deck. So ask AVO when Be Better is going to drop.
All right, well then, it will probably drop soon then, because I'm definitely in the business of doing a shit ton of music videos nowadays. So
but I appreciate you caring. That's one of my favorite songs. I performed it on tour. I ended my set with that song. It was like 97 Bustas, like, you know, we did this freestyle thing, then 97 Busta, and then I ended with Be Better, and every night, like, that was the song people were coming up to me talking about, you know.
That's fucking sick.
And it's like some of the nights I almost got emotional after performing it, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't say anything after I performed it. It's just like, there's nothing to say. Whatever I'm going to say before the song, and by the end of it, thank you, you know, and just like leave.
Yeah.
And that's like my favorite song. I love performing, and the energy's different. So I want to drop it soon. I got the artwork, I got the master. I'm just kind of like holding it back on some like hoarding, not wanting to just let my baby fly. You know what I mean?
No, that's
but
smart.
It's going to come out ASAP though. I'm just trying to line it up so it isn't just a random drop in the bucket, you know?
Okay, what else? How'd 667 come together? We already talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, to paraphrase, like even we were saying earlier, they started by, you know, like Rob Anthony, Two Head, and like Bobby, you know, was one of the first members, and then us just being in the same studio, working together on a lot of music, all of us being hesitant to ever join a group again because of our past and stuff, but making so much music together, you know, it's just got to a point where I was like, he already has like multiple 667 tats, like 667, one above the double. Because I was like, I kept pushing, like, we should call the studio something like this, even if we're not a group, like the studio is like something, like even if we release what we're all kind of working on, you know, on some compilation shit and calling it by the name of the studio. But then he's like 667, you know, and so then that's like when that started building, basically.
Tight.
Kind of naturally, like we didn't set out to start a group at any time.
Nice. What the hell? What high school did you go to? Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I went to Roosevelt High School in North Portland, St. John's.
Do you think your style has changed since you first started battling?
Oh, definitely. If you're not growing and learning, you're just treading water and waiting. You know what I mean? Like, you should always be evolving. My battle style's evolved. I think, I'd like to think, because when I watch a lot of old battles, I cringe at a lot of things. I always try to fix up certain, you know, different things. Even if when I set out, like, I'm not going to do this, and then I do it a little bit because, A, it's habitual.
Yeah.
B, it's like, when your adrenaline's moving, you know, in that battle, in those high pressure situations, it's a little different, you know?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of, I feel like I have like something in my teeth, but I feel like in a lot of battles, I've gone into it like, all right, I'm not gonna end my bars with that whole like, and this is the punchline type delivery, like, cause I don't like listening to that, you know? I'm like, what? All my favorite rappers, they rap, you know? I'm like, that in battles, that's what I want to do more of. And so I take notes, you know, but you have to get in there and really make it a habit. So I'd like to think I've definitely evolved since my early battles, and I make it a mission to try to, you know, at least look at one weakness from my previous battle, and make it a strength in the following battle, you know?
Dope.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can we expect the LSC project before 2019? They do have a song that Geechee and B-Dot played. I think it was just Geechee and B-Dot's verses, and it was really fucking tight.
Wait.
I don't know about a project. I don't know if it ever was a music thing, though.
Well, there'll be a project hopefully by the end of 2018.
Word. Okay. So.
Yes. Like, we got like 4 songs. And like I was like, you know, all our schedules have been different. I was just going on tour and then working on rap off, and
too.
it's a lot of juggling. Got 667.
Yeah.
It's a lot of juggling, but I was just thinking about that the other night. Like, oh yeah, we got these songs. What are we doing? Let's knock out a couple more. Put out 6-7 song EP. And I know every time like B-Dot, like I think last time like on Watch B-Dot's like, when are we gonna drop this? I'm like I'm the gatekeeper. Like, but I think it is like on me just to be a little bit more coordinating. You know what I'm saying? And knock out a couple more songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need somebody like that and everything.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on URL?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, I don't have this like. I don't know, like with battle rap, I love battle rap. I love hopping in here and there, but it's just got to make sense, and it's got to be the right battle and inspiring. I'm at a point where it's just like, I don't want to battle just to battle. I don't feel like I have anything to prove, and you know, I just, and it's not about maintaining some sort of legacy. I need to look this certain way. I want something that's gonna excite me, you know, because my head isn't always in battle rap.
Yeah.
The only battle rap doses I really get are on watch. You know,
yeah.
I fall behind on battles and stuff. It keeps me in touch, so that's why I like doing it. It's one of the reasons I like doing it. It's not my natural state to just watch a lot of battles and stuff, and sometimes I just need in order for me to give the performance that I want to give, because I have a certain standard I want of my performances that I want them to be. I want everyone to be the best one now.
Yeah,
the next
course.
The next one, it's his best ever. Next one, that's his best ever.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. So I just want inspiring opponents and situations. So that being said, URL, I haven't been there. That in itself could be inspiring now. The right matchup, the right timing, I'll definitely battle on URL, you know?
Would you battle Lux on Ruin Your Day? Would you battle Lux, of course?
Yeah, I'll battle Lux.
Yeah. That was a question. I've seen a couple more questions that we're going to get done, but I've seen you guys ask this a lot in the chat, which I don't know. What do you predict the RBE surprise battle to be? You know, there's a surprise battle on the card?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, there's a surprise battle on the card. Do you think it's going to be two big names? Do you think it's going to be kind of big name and then a lower guy? Maybe Daylight? I don't know about that one.
Well, didn't Daylight drop out of King Los versus Daylight?
Yeah.
But now it's Head Ice versus
King
King
Los.
Los. Daylight versus King Los.
You just bounced twice.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fucking funny.
in an unsanctioned Los didn't know that it's a surprise to him.
And King Los is like, fuck it, I'll do it. I can freestyle crazy,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Give me words.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Surprise battle, huh? I'll say I don't think Daylight would drop out of battle and King Los and then battle as a secret battle. What's the card again? Real quick, remind me. I know it's Mook Verb.
Mook Verb, Big K Solomon, Pat Sade, Danny Myers, fucking King Los, Head Ice, and then a couple others that I'm fucking forgetting and I'm irritated that I'm forgetting on. But yeah, that's the card for the most part. And then there's like an undercard too.
Is B-Dot on the card?
Oh yeah, B-Dot versus Swathe. I can't believe I forgot that.
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know, man. That's a really hard one.
I think it's Daylight. I think Daylight's gonna be secret battle.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think this whole thing has been a. Okay, how do you say Fugazi? Is it Fugazi or Fugazi?
I don't know.
Because
Depends
fucking,
on
I've been saying Fugazi because of the band forever, and then
Uh-huh.
fucking, what's his name? Fucking True Detective Lincoln dude in fucking Wolf of Wall Street in the beginning. What the fuck is
It's a
that?
Fugazi,
Yeah, he's like,
it's a woozy,
he's like,
it's a wazi.
It's a Fugazi, and he's like doing coke, and I'm like, what the fuck is Fugazi? Is that
I've
how
always
you
heard
pronounce it?
Fugazi, like
Okay,
in
maybe
all
it
the
is
old
Fugazi.
Italian food. But in
Yeah.
that Wolf of Wall Street, he's like, he's like, bro, he's like Fugazi, it's a woozy, it's a wazi.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
So maybe
it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if Daylight dropped out of battle and King Los to do a surprise battle, who would that surprise battle be?
I don't know. I heard some crazy shit, so I don't know. I heard some wild shit, but I mean, I don't know any card anymore. I don't.
Daylight Lux.
I thought Daylight Lux was supposed to be on the card. I heard that was on the card when they announced Mook. But who knows? Rumors get started fucking insane. Like, they're like, oh, Mook is battling on this card. Lux is battling on the card, too. Like, it would only make sense that they can
Right.
afford Mook. They can afford double that, you know, and, like, it's just like fans' expectations for cards nowadays is fucking astronomical. It's insane.
Right. Yeah, I'll say that's my prediction for the
Daylight
surprise.
Lux.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. And then we'll wrap this up, but another question I saw this guy asking a lot, which I think is an interesting question, is what was your mindset going into the Solomon battle?
I was on tour, and it was a thing where I locked the Solomon battle in, and like a day or two later, got the tour opportunity, tour all of Canada with Bliss and Esso. It's an Australian hip hop group duo. Well, trio. The DJ is on this, amazing too. But and it's like they had a bus. Like I'll be on the bus. It's like my first bus tour. And went from BC to Toronto.
That's
like
cool.
3-week long tour. A lot of the dates were sold out. It was crazy. So I had to take it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll be able to write on the road. I'll just do this shit. But my brain, I was in tour mode. I couldn't really write. You know, I was reading a lot. I was reading Robert Greene's 33 Strategies of War, I think, on the road. And I just had some ideas written down, but I didn't have any chunks. You know, it was just like little ideas for bars. And then I had like, I always make notes, like, you know, like if you're preparing to write a paper, you write like beginning, middle, end, or like what is my like what am I gonna build to? What's the synopsis? Like, and at first I'm like, I'm gonna outparm, I'm gonna do this, and I had all these. I couldn't write on the road. I got off the road with nothing, and when I got off the road, it was the week before the battle. I got back like on a Monday, and I was battling him that weekend. And I had nothing. So I got an Airbnb for like 2 or 3 days. I had some roommates and stuff where I was staying. I'm like, I need my own space. Got an Airbnb for a couple days and was like, I need to write all my bars like now. Because I don't even like to be writing anything in my last week. I like to be just making sure it's memorized,
Yeah.
you know, performing it, getting comfortable with it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I got back and I was like panicking, like I don't have shit. And like the thought crossed my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna no show. No, fuck it. I'm gonna cancel. I'm just gonna cancel.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that. Like I'm battling Solomon. Like I called it. I put this whole thing in motion. I like tweeted like battle me.
Yeah.
And then the fans went crazy with it. And then I got the battle. And I was like, fuck, like panicking. And so like last minute, I was like, you know what? Take off all the pressure. I go, he is going to, I just told myself this. I go, he is going to outbar you.
Yeah.
You don't have time to try to get fancy and just think of all these crazy punchlines. He's going to outbar you, probably outperform you. What can you do now to offset that? And all I could think is take his legs from him. Make everyone look at him different. Control the narrative. No matter what he says will be irrelevant. Make everything he says irrelevant because he's going to have more ammo. He's going to be more well thought out, have better material because you don't have much time. You don't have the luxury of trying to, you know, he's a great, smart opponent who's prepared for you. How can you offset that?
Yeah.
Change the way people look at him. And so that night I wrote like a round. The next morning I wrote the rest of my rounds. Fine-tuned them over a couple days, but like I wrote it all almost in like one sit down at night, fell asleep, woke up, wrote the rest of it. And so when I finished the material, I think I was like 3 or 4 days out, which I've never done. And it was just, I was like, and like the thing is like on the way back and on the plane, I was like already starting to think this. And so I was just writing down my thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, so the things that became bars were all my thoughts. Like, you're privileged. You are not one of us. You wear this like a costume. You're hypocritical because of this and this. And I'm like, just convey this. Convey how I'm thinking about him, right? When I'm preparing for a battle, it's like, I tend to not like the person afterwards. And it's not out of spite. It's just like I created this outlook that gets so deeply entrenched in my head that I like look at people differently.
Yeah.
And there's been other opponents where it's like I always thought they were crazy dope, and then your battle's confirmed. And all of a sudden I'm like, I was lied to. They're not dope. I just realized who they are.
Yeah.
They're not dope.
Yeah.
And they're not good. And they're not good people. and then after the battle, it's hard to detach from that. 'Cause it's I think I hit some pieces of truth. But so all that being said, I had this kind of like psychoanalytical breakdown of like my idea of who Solomon was at that point, because I had already started to think that's probably the direction I have to go. And so I'm like, just make everyone else believe it, write it down, you know, and that will negate anything he's gonna come with.
Crazy.
And so that was my kind of my mind state in preparation. And I'm not one of the guys like Thesaurus or some of these other guys that can write last minute. I need that full month and a half, and like you kind of go through different stages, and I really need that time. And I got put in a position, which is funny because in the 33, it was like it was meant to be. Like, because when I was like going through like I'm not ready, it's like I read the chapter on where it's like put yourself in a position that you're not ready for. It's like I always butcher this because I don't think it's Napoleon, it's someone else, but it might have been Napoleon who like landed on, they had this elaborate plan to take over this area or whatever. They landed, they were getting beat back and losing morale, and all his men wanted to retreat and shit. He burned the fucking boats and was like, and said they did it. And it's like, we have no choice. Didn't tell his higher commanders, nothing. He would, that's why I don't think it's Napoleon, because it wasn't, like he had superiors, they had a plan. He got sent out and then ended up burning the boats because like, no, now we have to go. Now we have to go to this rally point that's miles down that way. But the chapter was all about put yourself in a position where you don't think you're ready, and you'd be surprised at how you can acclimate and move. And so like in my moments of panic, like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm like, well, I put myself in this position. There's no fucking boats to retreat to. I'm not gonna cancel. I have to act.
Crazy.
And so that's where like kind of where my whole mind state was going into the Solomon battle.
That's fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
That is super crazy. Yeah, you can buy me some glasses. I need to get LASIK already. But yeah, guys, we'll wrap this up because we've been out here for quite a minute and traffic has probably died down at this point. But yeah, guys, go subscribe to ILLMAC TV if you haven't already. There's also Patreon, patreon.com/ILLMAC TV. Subscribe to the Patreon. That will help the Wrap Off Battle League come at you with plenty more battles, help fund all the good content ILLMAC's producing over there, all the good music 667's coming out with, all the good shit. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Do you want to answer anything else? See anything else?
Oh, no, I appreciate you guys tuning in for sure. I'm gonna get a new Raising the Bar knocked out. I have the guest that I want to have on that one.
Fuck yeah.
As well.
Hell yeah.
It's a ruin your day regular. I think it'll be amazing.
Crazy. All right. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in, watching us smoke cigars on the roof. I want to do this more often. I usually just go live on my phone, but I figured since ILLMAC was here, I'd whip out the red and the lights. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in this weekend, Summer Madness 7, watchbattlelive.com. Live pay-per-view, I'm directing it. Also, contribute to the GoFundMe for Champion of the Night. I don't know the address off the top of my head, but go to Jay Black's Twitter, watch any of Jay Black's videos. He has a GoFundMe address in the link, the description, the front of the videos. Let's get to $2,000 before the end of this week. I'm going to be plugging that shit nonstop, and the Champion of the Night is probably going to be a lot more than $2,000. So that will motivate all the battlers on the card to give 100% and give great performances. So yeah.
It's really dope.
Hell yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much, and